Hi everyone, welcome to Bea Yoga. I'm Beatrice. Today I'll guide you through a short Vinyasa sequence for your psoas muscles. So they connect our lumbar vertebrae to the femur or the thigh bone. So it connects effectively the back to the legs. So they influence our lower back if they're tight or also if they're weak. So we're both going to be strengthening and stretching. Oftentimes we sit long hours, we drive a lot, we cycle, so that all can tighten up the psoas. So for this practice you will need a block, that's all you need really. But if you have a couple of blocks that can be helpful, you might not need it. And you can also use a bolster for the end of the practice, but if you don't have a bolster, you can use a block. It's just that the bolster is a bit more comfortable. So bringing yourself onto a comfortable seat, beginning by coming into the room, coming into the body. Bring the hands down onto the knees. Close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Let the shoulders fall away from the ears. Start to deepen your breath. Bring it down to the upper abdomen in between your navel and your breastbone. Inhale to create space. Fill the lungs with air. And exhale to empty completely. Just 2 more breaths like this. Inhale, expand your body. Exhale and contract. 1 more. Inhale in through the nose, expand, invite new air in. Exhale out through the mouth, relax down. Float your eyes open. And once you're ready, come up onto your hands and knees. I'm just starting the practice with a few cat and cows, just because I always like to warm up through the spine. Bring the hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. And just take in 3 deep breaths. Inhale, send the tailbone up to the ceiling, drop the belly, open the chest. Exhale, look down, round the shoulders, round vertebra by vertebra, drop the tailbone down. Inhale, extend, drop the belly, open the chest. Exhale, round, drop down, round your shoulders, round your spine, tuck the tailbone down. 1 more breath. Inhale, slowly open up, drop the belly, open the chest, extend your spine. And exhale, wrap your tailbone down this side and start from there. And vertebrae by vertebrae, come up to the shoulders, look back towards your thighs. Inhale, return to your neutral spine. Bring the hands a bit wider. Point the fingers out to the corners of the mat. Plant all knuckles down. Tuck your toes down. And as you inhale, lift the knees off the ground. Send the hips up to the ceiling. Come to your first downward facing dog. Take 2 breaths here. Find space between shoulders and ears. Drop the head and let your neck be relaxed. Once you're ready, step or walk to the top of your mat. Inhale to find your halfway lift. Hands at your shins, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees if you need to. And from here, bring the feet hip-width distance apart. And as you unroll up, come to a chair pose. So start to inhale, bend your knees, drop the hips towards the floor, as if you're going to sit on a chair. And as you come up, engage through the core, wrap the ribs down, send the hands either at your chest or all the way up. Drop the shoulders away from the ears, take 2 breaths. Start to bring the hands, palms together at the heart, straighten up to standing, and send the right knee up towards your chest. strengthening through the hip flexors. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Once you're ready, start to tip your body weight forward, straighten that right leg, tuck the toes back into a high lunge. And as you get there, spin the back heel down, foot points 45 degrees to the side, hips square to the front. Coming into warrior one, bending to that front knee, send the arms up if you want to. If your shoulders are tight, bring the hands down at your chest, palms together. On your exhale, hands either side of your foot, come up onto the toes of the back foot, step back into a high plank. Take your vinyasa, stay here or drop your knees, exhale, lower. Inhale, either cobra or upward facing dog, peel the chest off the ground. If you're in cobra, thighs are down, just the chest. If you're in upward dog, you're up just on your feet, tightening up through the thighs. And as you exhale, bring yourself back to your downward facing dog. Look back towards your feet. Strong through the arms, one more breath. And once you're ready, step or walk back to the top of your mat. Feet hip width distance apart. Inhale, hands at your shins, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, start to unroll back up to chair. Bend your knees, drop the hips down, come up. Hands either palms together at the heart or roll the way up. 2 breaths here. Wrap the ribs down, engage the core. Exhale, start to bring the palms together, down through the heart. Come up, and as you come up, bring the left knee in towards the chest this time. And as you exhale, start to tip your body weight forward, lengthen the left leg back, tuck your toes into a high lunge. And as you get there, spin the back heel down, warrior one on this side, hips point to the front of the room. And hands at the heart, or if your shoulders allowed, bring them either side of your ears, shoulders away from the ears. Sink into the warrior. Exhale, hands either side of your front foot, come onto the toes of the back foot, step back into high plank. Choose your vinyasa here, either drop from here or drop the knees. Exhale, come down. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look back towards your feet. Stay in downward facing dog, and this time lift the right leg up towards the sky. Keep the hips squared. Exhale, step the right foot in between the hands, and as you get there, drop the back knee down, untuck your toes. Inhale, come up onto a low lunge. Drop the hips down. If your shoulders allow, again, arms up either side of the ears, otherwise hands down over heart, palms together. In Anjali Mudra. Drop the hips down. Feel the psoas lengthening the hip flexors of that left leg. Hold here for 2 more breaths. Exhale, hands either side of your feet, tuck your back toes, raise the knee off the ground, step back into your high plank. You can return to downward facing dog if you don't want to flow. Otherwise, vinyasa with me. Exhale, come down, elbows in towards the chest. Inhale, either cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look back towards the feet. 2 breaths. Stay strong in your arms. Bring the right foot in the midline, lift the left leg up towards the sky, keep the hips squared. Exhale, start to come forward, left foot in between the hands, drop your back knee, untuck your toes, come up into your low lunge, hands either in Anjali Mudra or all the way up to the sky, either side of your head. Drop your hips down, lengthen your hip flexors. Two more breaths, hold here. Exhale, hands either side of your foot. Tuck your back toes, raise the knee off the ground, step back into your high plank. Either send it straight back to downward facing dog or exhale, come down. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog again. Look back to the feet, relax your neck, 2 big breaths. As you exhale, drop the knees down to the ground. Scoop the feet to one side, come onto your sitting bones. Bring yourself to the middle of your mat. And we're taking 3 boat pose or Navasana. So I'll give you options here. Start to bring yourself onto your sitting bones, find your sitting bones. Hold your legs from under the knees and start to come onto the tips of your toes. You can stay here, you can feel your abdominals engaging, but also will strengthen your hip flexors, your psoas. Either stay here or start to straighten the legs, bring the calves parallel to the ground. You can keep holding. Go wherever you need to go and go wherever you can maintain a steady breath. So you can stay here if this is not enough. Lengthen the arms either side. You might want to stay here. If you want more, straighten the legs. Keep opening through the chest. 2 more breaths. Exhale, release, come to cross-legged. Hands down to the knees. Open your chest, straighten your back. Take a breath. Bring your feet back down, hold the back of your knees, come back up to Navasana. Take your option here. I'll stay with my bent knees here. 1 more breath. Exhale, release. Straighten your back, come back down to seated. 1 last one. Inhale, come up. Bring the knees together. Hold yourself if you need to first. Stay in your sitting bones. Start to lift. Maybe release. Maybe straighten the legs. Keep opening through the chest. 2 more breaths. Exhale, release. And take a breath. And before we come down onto our back, either grabbing the bolster or the block. So obviously the bolster is going to be a bit more comfortable. The block slightly higher, not really that much unless you have a smaller bolster. Come all the way down onto your back. And we come into supported bridge. So as you inhale, lift the hips up off the ground, send them up to the ceiling. Have the feet as wide as your hips, as close to them as you can. And then bring yourself up. And from here, grab your bolster or your block and send it under your sacrum. So in between your lower back and your sitting bones. And then from here, start to straighten the legs forward. Opening into those hip flexors. You can keep the hands on your belly. If this is too much, and it might be too much even in your lower back, keep one knee bent and one knee straight. And then we can switch sides. I'll tell you when we're about halfway so you can switch sides. If you have one leg bent, start to switch your sides, bend both, and then lengthen the other one. Just taking a couple more breaths here. And once you're ready, start to bend into both knees. Start to lift the sacrum off your bolster or your block. Lower all the way down onto your back. And you can either, I highly recommend that you go down to Shavasana, but if you want to close your practice here, bring yourself up onto a comfortable seat. Either bring yourself onto your right side, or you can bring yourself up by rolling up and down your spine. And as you come up, find a comfortable seat. Finishing as we started, bringing the hands down to the knees, dropping the shoulders away. Noticing how our breath feels now, how our psoas feels now, maybe even our lower back. If you're still on your back, you might want to bring the knees into the chest to decompress your lower back. And take a few more deep breaths here. Once you're ready, bring the hands together at heart center. And as you exhale, bow down to seal your practice. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope you enjoyed this practice, and if you have, please join me again soon.